Hey Booktube, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. And don't show up at my door with anything without a DNA test. Just kidding. Today, since it's Mother's Day, I wanted to share a little bit about a book that reminds me of my mom. Since there's no way in hell I'm going to read any Danielle Steele books, we are going to go with Agatha Christie. My mom was a big reader of Agatha Christie, and when I was a kid, she had all of these books down low in the entertainment center. And so I would kind of pick them and look at them and everything. And the one book that always stuck out to me and ended up being the first book of hers that I ever went after, it was called 10 Little Indians. The cover has, the 1986 cover has this Indian getting his head chopped up. It's like a fake Indian, like a little wooden Indian, getting an axe to the neck, and he's like that or whatever. But originally it was called something else in the UK, which we're not going to talk about. But the first title it used here was called And Then There Were None. And I'm pretty sure that's the title it uses now. And Then There Were None is considered probably her masterpiece and her most famous book. It's one of the best-selling books in history. So the plot is 8 people get invited to this island, and each one of them is invited there for some different reason. And they all get there, and then there's a butler and a maid there as well. It's this island out kind of in the middle of nowhere. It's really stormy. They can't really leave or anything. And then they hear this recording saying that each one of them are there because they've committed some sort of heinous crime against another person, typically resulting in their death. And now they're going to be punished. The other things about this story that make it so amazing is, one, it's one of the best whodunits ever. But on top of that, the significance that this book had on other things. For instance, if there wasn't And Then There Were None or 10 Little Indians, we may never have had films like Blood and Black Lace or Bay of Blood, aka Twitch of the Death Nerve. Those are Italian films, both by Mario Bava, and that jump-started the whole giallo scene in Italy, and also the body count film. So, and we all know that if we didn't have Bay of Blood, we never would have had Friday the 13th. And the whole 80s, it's argued that the whole 80s, early 80s slasher craze may not have been there at all. I mean, Halloween was first before Friday the 13th, but if we didn't have Bay of Blood, would we have had a movie like Halloween? Because we know we wouldn't have Friday the 13th Part 2. For those of you who are horror movie aficionados. So anyway, And Then There Were None is basically the first body count book. I'm sure there's others before it. The impact of it it's ridiculous. It being such a huge and popular book for Agatha Christie, who knows what would have been considered her masterpiece if she never wrote And Then There Were None. And she also said that it was the hardest book she's ever written. However that works. It's a great read. There's also some great film adaptations of it, and great BBC adaptations of it. It's definitely worth a read. In fact, there's a video game of it. It might be just a PC game, And Then There Were None, or on the Wii or something. It's an amazing story. It makes me think of my mom, because I just remember being a little kid holding that book, and I remember growing up just seeing her reading Agatha Christie books, and also Danielle Steele books, but I don't know shit about those. So, Mom, if you're watching, happy Mother's Day. And for all the other moms out there, happy Mother's Day.